Somewhere in the Netherlands, a company operates that most people have never heard of. And yet without it, the entire global technology industry would grind to a halt.
There is one company on earth that makes the machines that make the chips.
No new iPhones, no Nvidia AI chips, no advanced processors from Intel or TSMC. That company is ASML.
Every semiconductor fab that matters, Taiwan, South Korea, the Netherlands, runs on equipment from ASML. You cannot, of course, build a modern chip without them.
And it doesn't make chips. It makes the machines that make chips. And recently, India signed a landmark partnership with them.
India wants to be a part of this industry as a major player and just not a sidekick.
On the 16th of May, Tata Electronics has signed an MOU with ASML.
This is India's biggest tech bet.
The agreement supports Tata Electronics semiconductor fabrication plant in Dholera, Gujarat.
India takes a major step in its semiconductor journey as Tata Electronics and Dutch chip equipment giant ASML sign a strategic agreement to support India's first front-end semiconductor fabrication plant in Dholera, Gujarat.
At first glance, this sounds like one more investment announcement, but examine what this partnership actually represents. And it begins to look like one of the most consequential technology agreements India has signed in recent years.
The harder question, of course, resides behind the announcement, which is the fact that a fab is not an easy assembly line. Semiconductor manufacturing, as we all know, is among the most technically demanding processes on Earth. Lithography alone operates at atomic precision. India does not currently have a deep pool of engineers trained to run these machines.
This story isn't really about one factory in Gujarat. It's about a much larger question that India has been trying to answer for decades. Can this country move from being a consumer of advanced technology to becoming a genuine producer of it? Chips have powered every major technological breakthrough of the last 50 years. Smartphones, laptops, modern cars, aircraft, power grids, weapon systems, all of them depend on semiconductors. And with the rapid rise of artificial intelligence, demand for chips has reached an intensity the industry has never seen before. If oil powered the 20th century, semiconductors are powering the 21st. This is why the United States is investing hundreds of billions of dollars into domestic chip manufacturing, while China is spending enormous resources trying to build its own semiconductor ecosystem, and why India wants a meaningful place at the table. Most people assume chips are made by well-known names like Intel, Samsung, or TSMC. But beneath all of them lies a hidden layer so foundational that without it, none of these companies could operate. That layer is semiconductor manufacturing equipment. Before a single chip can be manufactured, you need machines capable of printing billions of microscopic transistors onto a silicon wafer. Modern chips contain structures measured in single-digit nanometers. For context, a human hair is 80,000 to 100,000 nanometers wide. Building these chips requires machines of extraordinary complexity, and one company dominates that field above all others: ASML. ASML holds an effective monopoly on the world's most advanced lithography systems, machines that use precisely focused light to print circuit patterns on the silicon. TSMC, Samsung, and Intel all depend on them. Even China, despite spending hundreds of billions of dollars on its semiconductor ambitions, continues to struggle because it cannot access ASML's most advanced equipment. Every advanced chip on Earth passes through technology that ASML either directly supplies or heavily influences. It is, in the truest sense, a gatekeeper of the digital age. It would be tempting to read the Tata ASML agreement as a straightforward equipment purchase. That would miss the point entirely. The most valuable thing ASML brings is not machinery. It is knowledge, expertise, training, and ecosystem development. Semiconductor manufacturing is one of the most complex industrial activities human civilization has ever attempted. A single fabrication plant requires thousands of highly skilled engineers, specialized gases and chemicals, ultra-pure water, advanced materials, and a network of suppliers capable of meeting extraordinarily demanding quality standards. Taiwan did not become a semiconductor powerhouse by building one factory. It spent decades constructing an ecosystem. South Korea did the same. China is still working through that process. India is now beginning that journey, and the ASML partnership is one of the clearest signals yet that global industry leaders believe India is serious about it. The benefits extend well beyond having the chip factory on Indian soil. As semiconductor capabilities grow, India becomes more attractive as a global manufacturing hub for companies producing smartphones, electric vehicles, telecommunications equipment, and AI hardware, all industries hungry for more resilient supply chains. It also catalyzes a high-value talent ecosystem. India already produces enormous numbers of engineers, many of whom work abroad at semiconductor companies. But thriving domestic industry creates pathways for that talent to return and build deep expertise at home. And semiconductor ecosystems tend to cluster. Once a major player commits, equipment suppliers, materials firms, research institutions, and universities often follow. Perhaps most importantly, it strengthens India's strategic position. The COVID-era chip shortage made painfully clear how exposed countries become when semiconductor supply chains are disrupted.
The global chip shortage that is hindering production forecasts of giants like Apple and Volkswagen also is here to stay until first half of 2023.
Shortage of supply, that's going to affect many people in the world, certainly in North America. The chip shortages, maybe lead times are slowing, but it's still quite dire.
Everything, absolutely everything, depends on the chip industry.
And now there aren't enough of them getting made, a massive global shortage.
Domestic capability cannot eliminate that vulnerability entirely, but it can meaningfully reduce it. Honesty requires some perspective here. This partnership does not mean India is about to become the next Taiwan, nor that world-class chips will be rolling out of Dholera within a few years. Semiconductor ecosystems take decades to build, and India is genuinely at the beginning of that road. The journey will be long, expensive, and demanding. But beginnings matter. Every major semiconductor nation started somewhere, with a first factory, a first generation of trained engineers, and a first strategic partnership with a global technology leader. The Dholera plant may well become one of those foundational moments. Initially, we inquired whether India can transition from consuming advanced technology to producing it. For decades, India built its reputation in services, becoming a global software powerhouse. But the economy of the future will be shaped by semiconductors, artificial intelligence, and advanced manufacturing. And every one of those industries ultimately depends on chips. The ASML partnership alone won't answer that question. But it may be one of the most important steps India has yet taken on the path toward answering it. And if this effort succeeds, historians may one day look back at this moment as the point where India's semiconductor story truly began. If this kind of analysis interests you, the forces shaping India's future that rarely make the front page, subscribe to Periscope on YouTube. That's exactly where we look.